All right. In this lecture series, we will look at how to calibrate raster drawing with different scales on the same sheet when you want to do takeoff in CostX. By raster drawing, I mean those drawings that don't have the intelligent uh, components to them. Like if you have a picture scanned, JPEG or PNG, or you have a PDF that is not saved from a digital file. In other words, there is no, if you hover over the object, there is no intelligent uh, path to it. So what we're going to do will be first deleting drawings with multiple scales on single sheets from CostX. That's if you already have such drawings already uploaded. And then we will look at how to duplicate each of such drawings into separate sheets. And that duplication has to be based on the number of scales on each sheet. So if there are 3 scales on the same sheet, then you got to have 3 duplicates to that. And then we'll re-upload them to CostX. And then we will also look at each duplicate, set and rename a separate working area for each scale on CostX. And then we will calibrate the working area based on the specified scales. And finally, there will be a need to confirm that that calibration is accurate. Otherwise, we'll look at various ways you can reset accordingly. So to deliver this agenda, we have 3-part action steps that we need to take. The first one, first for us, it's good for us to have an understanding of what we mean by single scale and multiple scale drawing sheets. Like, for instance, drawing with only one scale, as we have here. If you look at the scale panel, there is only one scale for all the drawings here. So if you have only one scale, there is no need to calibrate. There's no need to set up working area, so you can go ahead and do your calibration. But we are concerned about the drawing sheet that has multiple scales, like as you can see here. If you look at the panel, the drawing panel, you have 3 scales there. One is scale of 1:50, the other one is scale of 1:100, and then the other one is scale of 1:20. So the section A is the one that has scale of 1:50. And you also have the roof plan here having scale of 1:100. And then we have series of sections that all have a scale of 1:20. That means that there is a need for us to delete this drawing from CostX if you already have them in CostX. Then we duplicate those drawings into 3 sheets because there are 3 scales here. If you have 2 scales, then you have 2 duplicates. Then upload them back to CostX. Then on each duplicate sheet, we'll set and rename it to give it a unique separate working area based on the scale. And then they will calibrate each area based on that scale that we've set. So let's have a list of the drawings that we need for this assignment that need to be duplicated and renamed. First, there are 4 steps to preparing that multi-scale drawing. As we mentioned before, you have to delete those drawings that you have already uploaded to CostX and have multiple scales separated into single sheets. So from the drawing file in your device, wherever you save your drawings or wherever you want to upload to CostX, you have to duplicate each of those drawings into separate sheets based on the number of scales on each sheet. So if the sections of the same sheet has different scales for plan, for section, and detail, you need to duplicate them into 3 separate sheets, each looking alike. And then there is a need for you to rename each duplicate to indicate its unique scale and separate and for their separate use. So for instance, if there is a sheet that has 3 sections, roof plan, the section, and the detail. So you have to use this kind of renaming convention to shorten the title for the drawings. DWG for drawing, as you could see here, number. Then this is the original name that the architect or the structural engineer has given it, GF02. But for the separate sections, you have A for the roof plan section, and then B for the section, and then the detail you can name as GF02C. And then upload each named duplicate to CostX to set up the working area. So those are the 4 things that we should be doing. And don't forget that the naming convention is such that with drawing a sheet that has multiple scales, you still maintain a trailing numbering that will still link all those sheets together. Like for instance, this part that is GF roof plan, on a scale of 1:100, you name it A, for instance. And the one that is the section with a scale of 1:50, you can name it 02B. And then the detail with 1:20 scale, you name it 02C. So that way you can still reconnect the separate drawings to the original drawing from which they came, just in case there is a variation. And for you to price variations, it helps you to understand where the architect or the structural engineer drawings that are involved are, so as to perform the variation work. Then after that, we upload each drawing to CostX. All right. And if you already have your drawings set up, we will go through in the practical section. We'll go through to tell you how you can use the drawing manager or the drawing properties to make that renaming. All right. So there are the 4 sheets that are involved that we want to rename as separate sheets. Altogether, you're going to have about 7 sheets. The first one is drawing number GF01, which is the floor plan and elevation. And you will rename that as drawing GF01 roof, a floor plan plus elevation, because it has only a scale of 1:100. Look at how that scale is indicated as S for scale 1, and then hyphen T0 for 2, hyphen 100, because if you want to save this drawing in your file, if you put colon, it's not going to save. So like if you put scale 1:100, it's not going to save, because the nomenclature for files do not permit using this, because this is interpreted separately as a root file. All right. And then for the other drawing, which is GF02 section AA, because on that sheet, on that drawing sheet, you have 3 drawings. So you have to duplicate the drawing and rename the duplicate into 3 as listed here. And don't forget, we are maintaining the same trail of numberings, so you can know how many of those duplicates you have in your CostX. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you have 3 more drawings to be identified in your drawing panel for the educational license that you have in CostX. So putting this numbering will help to make sure your drawings are listed in the way that they relate to each other, like putting 2 and 3 and 4 as a naming will help to identify or put the sub parts of 0, 2 as A, B, and C. And then the other ones can also follow in the same pattern, in the same fashion, like slab and footing plans that have 2 scales to it. You can have 5 and 6, so they can all be grouped together, right? So this is an example, 4 sheets to be duplicated and all renamed. If you can remember, when you upload the drawings to CostX, you have the first drawing there. And this drawing, will, because it has a scale of 1:100, there is no need for us to make any duplicate. So you only have to rename it as drawing number GF01 floor plan plus elevation, scale 1:100. Putting this kind of naming helps to identify what that drawing contains, from the drawing panel without opening it. So that helps you to navigate to know where you want to carry out your measurement or what is contained in there. So even though this drawing doesn't have a subsection of it with different scale, it's still good for you to rename it like this, to be able to understand what aspect of the drawing that you require for your takeoff. So floor plan and elevation is better than not providing a name that resonates with the content of the drawing. So please use this as a renaming. Now, for the drawing, there has 3 scales to it. That's the drawing that is captioned GF02. So here you could see those 3 scales. Scale 1:50, 1:100, 1:200 means that you need to duplicate this sheet into 3 sheets and rename them to identify with each scale and purpose. So for instance, for the section AA, you can rename it as 2 because you already have 1 point drawing GF102. Now this is renamed to DWG GF02A roof plan to show that this is a part A of it. And then to cover the roof plan section, you can rename it as 3 dot drawing. You can rename it as drawing 02B roof plan. And oh, sorry, can you guys give me 1 second? Hello, Choma, please, I'll call you. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Bye-bye. All right. So for the roof plan, you give it 02B and indicate a scale there, S1 to 100. And then for the sections, you can rename that aspect as that sheet, the same sheet, but give it a name, the third duplicate as DWG GF02C. And given more information that these are details and it's something that relates to external wall. So by looking at the drawing title and on the drawing panel in Excel and CostX, you can relate with that drawing and what it contains. This is quite useful. It kind of speeds up your takeoff instead of, especially when you have several drawings, instead of jumping from one to the other, looking for relevant content to measure. All right. Now, when it comes to the third drawing, which is the GF03 slab and footing plan details, you could see because of the 2 scales, then we need to duplicate into 2 sheets. So as before, to cover those 2 sub-drawings, because they have 1 scale, we can duplicate, we name one of the duplicates as 5 DWG GF03A slab and footing plans. As you can see, this is footing plan, this is slab, ground slab plan. They're all 1 scale, so you just name one duplicate to identify that it's just 1 scale, and also the contents, kind of multiple contents. But what is of importance for us in that calibration is to make sure that you are having only 1 scale identified. Then for the sections, there are various details. You have 2 details there, and because they have 1 scale, you name it the 6th duplicate, which is DWG number GF03B, slab and footing details. So there is emphasis here that this is detail and this is plan, but also telling what details those refer, because there could be details of many things. All right. So for the last drawing, here, because it has only 1 scale, we don't need to duplicate, but we just have to rename. Only rename as 7th drawing, DWG GF04A, slab and footing details. It seems as if it's similar to that GF03, but so long as they are still bearing details, that means that this is an extension, further details of further extension of the 03A. All right. Now, setting up the working area for the multi-scale drawing sheets on each duplicate, we have 4 steps, or rather up to 9 steps that are involved. Selecting the drawing, accessing the working area, setting up the working area, defining the area, calibrating the region, and then repeating for different scales. We will look at this in CostX, but just to give you the steps or the processes that we need to undertake. And lastly, there will be a need to verify some scales and to do some resets if we discover that the scales we didn't do proper calibration, and also introduce to you the automatic adjustment of scale as an alternative approach, which is actually more professional where you have multiple reset to do. So there are 3 steps that we need to go through there. One is scale validation using the measuring distance tool. Then the scale reset is the second one, which we do in reset working area option. That helps us to return to the original scale within the drawing tab. And then there's automatic scaling, which you can also do in the drawing properties panel. All right, so let's practicalize what we have signaled as the process that we need to follow. Now, if we get to CostX, here we are in the CostX environment, and there's nothing here. So I will set up. I'll go to new and have a project set up. Now this is calibrating multi-scale sheets, drawing sheet. You don't follow me to do this, but just watch what I'm going to do when it comes to that setting up the working area. Or the vital things to do is the project. This is a default project. I don't want to use a template that uses that is based on the elemental measurements. We use default, which can use for builder's bill as well as the Australian standard method of measurement. So the other one, apart from the project in building code, I mean the project type, we also based on is going to be based on the default as well, and that is all that we need, and nothing else. So name the project, uh, in terms of the properties of that of the environment you're creating, and how it is based. What template will be required to populate the workbook. So if you select the if you select the template option, then that's going to populate with the Elementor method. But if you leave it as default, then you can add the builder's bill or make a choice as to what will comprise your workbook. All right, so then we hit insert, as some of you understand. You've already gone through this. So if you have some drawings already set up here, we will go through at the end of the day how you can adjust those drawings without deleting them. Otherwise, you might want to delete, but if you delete anything here, that means any takeoff you've done will be in error. But it's better to adjust. But for some of you that haven't started already, we will upload the drawing. So we click on the drawing tab and click on this add button. So add drawing, and navigate to where that drawing is saved, and that is this one here. Open. So when you want to open the drawing in CostX, it will have a sheet name for the various types or the various pages. Like you have 4-page document that we have uploaded. Now you may not know what page 01 is, page 02 is, page 03 is. You can actually make a change here, but for now, just say OK. All right, and it will give you the option of say the first sheet, whether you want to change that sheet, but just say insert and say based on millimeter. There might be some custom settings here that you want to derive, but just click insert. Don't do anything else and click insert, and we will deal with that. Oh, sorry. I think we have to, because it's only one drawing here. I think we need to, sorry, I missed one step. I intentionally did it to make you guys understand that there are several ways to that. So this drawing that you have uploaded now, if you get this PowerPoint, I think it's slide 8, slide number 8. So that is the first drawing. It's the one that has the floor plan with the elevation scale 1:100. That is what is loaded there. You could see floor plan 1:100, and as well as elevation 1:100. So that is the first page of that drawing that you have uploaded. And if you go to the island, access this PowerPoint in PDF file format. All you need to do is just copy this. So you don't need to type, don't need to waste time typing. Select it and write copy. We can shrink it. And then when you come to this drawing, you know this is the drawing this is the page that we were talking about, which is GF01. You right click on it there, and you can either go to the drawing manager or go to edit the drawing properties. This one here, I think I'll prefer doing edit the drawing properties. And then within the selected section here, say Control V, say Control V. If it's not pasting, then you may have to go back to that spreadsheet here and select again, right click, copy, shrink it, and then come back here, Control V. Oh, still not pasting. Sorry, let me see what is responsible for that. Right click, copy. Let me also do Control C for copy, and then come back here, Control V. Well, if it's not working, there's another way to do it. The other way to do it is go to Drawing Manager. Can you see here, Manager? Click on it. Then within this name here, can you see this name option? Put a cursor there, hold down the left mouse and select it, delete, and then Control V. You should be able to paste that drawing there. And then when that is done, is say close. Okay, and that name will appear here. All right, you can actually verify when you go back again to edit the drawing properties. You can see it's now showing that name, and you can update it. Actually, it should have worked the first time we did it, but that wasn't the case. All right, so let's go and get the same drawing again, add drawing. Now this time around, we will try and provide the separate, now we've already had page one downloaded, so now we go to click on 0, 2, you hold on Shift and select 2, 2, 3, 4. We could have actually selected all of them at the same time and paste them, but I just chose the first one so as to quickly give it a name. Say OK, and name prefix. Just leave them that way, and we have this drawing up there now. We have the second one when you click here, and then we have the last one. Takes a while to upload. So we've already named this one. Now, when we click on the second one, this is the drawing number GF02. So if you go to the PowerPoint that we have provided, GO2, this section is going to be named as this section is going to be named as section is going to be named as this. So just select this, Control copy, and then go back to this same drawing and go to the Drawing Manager and bring the Drawing Manager panel, take it away from the naming so you can associate with it. This is page 002, and then that page 002, we've already known that we want to have a duplicate of that we want to call this section to have a working area for scale 1:50 section AA. So with this 002, you look at that drawing with that 002 tag with it, which is this one here. So 002, 002, double click there, or hold down your left mouse and then paste this information that you've taken, copied from here. Control V. So that gives me the second drawing. Okay. And say close. So that renames. I will still bring two more drawings, the same drawings, and the other drawing, I will rename that duplicate as roof plan. And then the third one is going to be roof detail. But let me go ahead, the ones that are already here, which is the drawing number GF03. Now, if you go to the PowerPoint, this drawing again, GO3 is here. So the first one is slab footing detail for a scale of 1:100. I just select it and copy. Can also do Control C at the same time, just in case that one didn't work. And then within this drawing, I want to have the slab and footing details section as a duplicate. Assuming this is a duplicate now, when I bring the same drawing again, is going to be the second duplicate, then I will be interested in this section. I will rename it differently, but for this drawing, I will have a working area just for this area. And so I know that this is page 003. Then I go to my drawing manager here. Can you see this button? Click. And again, because it's 003 and 003 is here, click here, select it, hold down the left mouse, select, and then Control V. The paste as drawing 5. Meanwhile, we still have to bring in GF02, two more sections there because there are 3 there. That would be number 3 and number 4. But now let's just put number 5 and close, because it doesn't have save or update. Just say close. All right. And when you click on the 004, you could see that that is the drawing GF04A. It has only one scale, 1:20. So if you look at the PowerPoint, that is drawing 4A. Meanwhile, we still have to have another duplicate uploaded to take care of this, but now we're in drawing 04A. So select that, right click and copy, or just say Control C, or both, just in case. So let's try and see if we go to edit drawing properties, whether it can now accept. Control V, it doesn't work. So just cancel. And then with this selected, come to drawing manager. And 004. So this is 004. Put your cursor there, hold down the left mouse, select, and then Control V. It gives you the 7th drawing and say close. Now, if you have a look here, we have drawing 1, 2, 5, and 7. So we need to bring drawing 3 and drawing 4, and then drawing 6. The drawing 3 will be the duplicate of this this drawing, the same drawing, GF02. So I will now go to drawings and add drawing, and the same set of drawing. I know that that was it's better for me to upload everything again. If we had known which of these drawings that had already been uploaded, I know of the 01, but I might just click the second one because that second one might need duplicates. click on that, and at the same time hold on shift. The 04 is this last one. We don't need any duplicate there. We need duplicate only in 2, which I believe is 02, and we need duplicate in the third one, which is the one for GF03 series. Okay, so I will select this, only these two, and say okay, and say okay. Now, when first of all, when I come to this drawing 2 to verify, you see this is GF02, and this one here is the same GF02. So this is a duplicate that we need to bring up again in order to have 02B. All right. So with this drawing as 002 now for us, we have to come here and remember that it is this one that we want to create a duplicate of this one, go back again, and then have a duplicate to see. So let's copy this 02B, Control C again, and shrink this. And then with this selected, I'll just go to Drawing Manager, and look at this 002, which is this one here. Click and then hold down the left mouse, drag, and then Control V. So it has now come up with 03. And then this other one, let's first of all get one up. Now, so I have 1, 2, 3. The third one is 02B. I need to go and bring in 02C, but for now, we want to get 03B, which is this one here, because it's looking at 03. If you can see, when I click on this, you can see it is GF03. So we want to bring this as a duplicate of the same drawing that is, this is GF03. It is some drawing that is earlier named as GF03A. Like if I click here, you could discover that it is same drawing. So here, when I click here, I'll come to that 03B, because that is what is missing here. Oh, sorry, I have 03, yeah. I have 03A already. This is 03B. So when I go to the spreadsheet, I look for 03B, which is this one here. Select it, Control C, or both. Say, it's amazing how it may not work the first Control C or right clicking and choosing copy. Now with this, now I go to the manager, drawing manager, and look for 03, which is this one here. Now put my cursor here, select with the left mouse holding down, select again, and then Control V to paste it as 03B, because I already have 03A here. So this is going to be 03B. I'll close. So that updates it. So we have 1, 2, 3, but there is no 4. We have 5, we have 6, we have 7. So we need the fourth one, which is 02C. So is it 0? Let's see, because this 2 has 3. Let me open this here. 2 has 3. We have this in place, we have this in place, but we don't have the details, which is 02C. So I will select, copy this, Control C. We could also right click and say copy as well. And now when with that information, I'll know that this is my 03, which is the second one, actually the second drawing, which was given as 002. So when I go to drawing and add and bring in the same file, which is what was originally given, I will now focus only on the 202 to upload because other ones are in there. I could verify, making sure, so insert, I could verify by making sure that this is GF02 and is a GF02 that I'm lacking the third one, which is 02C. So with this drawing now, I can select it, I'll go to manager, and we're interested in the ref, the one that is titled ref, and click, bring the cursor to hold down the left mouse to select, and then Control V, because I've already given us drawing number 4, and then close. And you could see that we have now these 7 drawings that we have identified, 4 sheets to be renamed as separate sheets with those 3 duplicates for GF01, 2 duplicates for GF03. This one, GF04A, has only 1 scale. We'll just rename it this way. And GF01 has only 1 scale. So we'll only just do some renaming. The duplicated ones are the 02 into 3 duplicates and 03 into 2 duplicates. And that gave us the 7 separate sheets that we need, for our takeoff, because of the differences in the scales for those drawings, like GF02 with 3 multiple sheets, with 3 multi-scale sections on these same sheets. So that concludes this part of what we set out to do, renaming and duplicating and renaming. Now, what we need to do is to set up the working area on multiple scale drawings. And we will, just to recap on what is involved, we have 9 steps to follow: selecting the drawing, accessing the working area, setting up the work area, defining the area, then calibrating. And after that, to repeat for different scales. Let's just have this one completed. So when we come to this drawing, let's take the first one here. When you click on it, this is on scale of 1:100. We don't need to set up a working area, as we said. All we need to do is, first of all, we'll check and see if this scale of 1:100 could be easily set up without calibrating. To do that, we identify that drawing, and with that selected, we can go to Drawing Manager, click, identify that as scale of 1:100, which is this one here. So we can come here and adjust that scale. So the scale is 1:100. Calibration is 1:00. 2D. So we can adjust that 1 1 scale. Calibration is 1:100. Let's see. Measurement millimeter. Scale status 2D, or rather, drawing. Sorry, I need to click edit type here. So it's drawing 101, and the scale or rather, sorry, I think I need to come here and sorry, close first, and edit the drawing property. Yeah, I need to right click on that drawing, say edit the drawing property, and I will come to the scale horizontal because it's 1:100. So I could just check here 1:100. So 1:100 here. Vertical scale, I believe, is going to be the same thing too. So 1:100 as well. Okay. Okay. All right. So with this scale setup, maintain aspect rate and all that, that's all that we want to set up. And yeah, that's all. And say update. Now, if we update that without calibrating by changing, by right-clicking and choosing edit the drawing properties and going to the scale to manually type in the scale here and say update, we need to check whether it has given us a good update without calibrating. And to do that, let's check this measurement 5005. So we click on this measure distance tool, click and zoom from this center of this line and the center of the other line at crosshair, zoom and use eyeball to select from the midpoint there, vertical, and the midpoint horizontally. Place your crosshair there, click, and then go to the other side and see whether it's going to give you 5005. And when you come here, it's going to give it in meters. So don't expect to see 5,000, but we want to make sure that it is close to, if I zoom to this place, to the center line, it's close because that's given 4059. Okay, escape. So that could be fine. Scaling this way is actually better, even though it may not align exactly with what you see. If you calibrate this way by putting the scale as assumed here, everybody will be getting the same measurement. But if you want to calibrate, then you have to go back to right-click again, edit the drawing properties. You need to remove this and get back to the original 1:100. I mean 1:1, 1.00, and that could also adjust here 1.00. You need to reset it to what it was before you can calibrate, and click on update. Okay, yeah, update. So we can now do a calibration. If you have already calibrated, you obviously you have to set a reset calibration, but we've not calibrated, so we go to the x-axis and calibrate the x-axis, and it gives us that window. It should have popped up, given us a pop-up where we said the calibration also work for Y. So uh, can you see where the quantity surveyor, I mean the architect, chose to indicate a line? Instead of here, it's somewhere here. But it doesn't actually matter. It shouldn't matter. Still come to the crosshair between the center line of this and the center line of this. This is where it starts click, and then you know that this is 5005, and bring it to the center line of this and click, and then type 5005 in millimeter. 5005, and say OK. And if that is done, automatically the Y axis should be calibrated. But let's just have a look. If I take the measuring rule and maybe check one of these lines. Okay, let me check the same one that I did before. Although it's always good to calibrate on the longest line, horizontally or vertically, but it doesn't make much difference there. Let me go back to the 5001, 5005. So if I put here zoom at the crosshair of this center line and that center line from this point, click, and then go to the other side, zoom to that meeting point. It's giving me 4. Yeah, actually 4 is pretty much close. There is no there's no rocket science to it. So long as you're getting something that could be approximated to what was originally there, that should be fine. You can also check the y-axis. This is 6500. Let's see whether that was properly scaled. So if I, again, can you see where this line was cut? That's one of the things that give that provide the problem that we encounter in this measurement. This line should have crossed here, but it's skewed. So if I come here, and then this is 6500, let's see if that's going to give me on the vertical scale. If I place it here, so it's almost close, 6.5 something. So that's okay. I'm set for measurement here. And as we said, there is no need for us to set up a working area because it's only one scale. So this one is done. Now, when I go to the one that has multiple scales on the same sheet, like this one, as we said before, we need to select, say for instance, section AA, which is section AA. We need to select this area to bear with that name as scale 1:50. All right. So to do that, we need to go to this working area. Can you see here? Pull it down, put down the mirror, and then say set working area. You might still come back and reset if you didn't get it properly, but just set working area. This one, the first option, click, and then it wants you to select an area. You could maybe from this side, click and drag forward to this area. click, and could you see it? Oh, we didn't select properly. We should have allowed this section AA to be showing. So I need to go back and say reset. If you reset, it gives you the whole drawing again. Let's make sure that the section that we want to define a working area is clearly in view. And then go back again, working area, set working area. Then just like you're snipping things, if you eyeball it from this side to here, I could just place my mouse here, then click and drag and bring it up to this side. Oh, I'm not sure. I think I will miss the A again. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It gives me the area that I want. So this is done now. This is on section AA. All right. If I click here, I'll see the full drawing. But if I come to that section that I've set the working area, I will see only the section that I'm interested in, and then I can do my calibration now. I will look at, maybe this is where using the option of setting the scale is better, because here you don't have long line to set. Well, we have 2143. We can use this to set. So here we go to calibrate. Calibrate. Say, no, it's actually Y. Sorry, calibrate Y. Select calibrate Y because that's on the Y-axis, and then we zoom. We come to, again, the crosshair, this line and this line where they meet. So from here, click and go in. I'm sure, yeah. It needs to, when you click on this, until you see this cross, that means it's not actually selecting. So you have to go and make sure it is selected. This crosshair, the center line is somewhere around here. Then you start moving up. And remember that this is 2143. And then come to the center line there. Click, and then define it as 2143 Say okay. 2143. Okay, now again, you have to measure, use this measure tool to see whether that has been properly set up. Let's check the y-axis, whether this is going to read 2143 or 2.143, whatever the case is. If I come to the center line here, click, and then start going up there. So when I come here, I can view it is 2143 exactly. So that's properly calibrated. And I could also check the horizontal. There is no horizontal measure here, so I can only assume that the x-axis and the x-axis is also fully calibrated. Although I don't think there's any measurements here to be taken on the section. But nothing stops us from having a look, because we know that this wall is, I think it's, there's no, well, you can only see that section 3. If we have a look at drawing of the detail section, let me just leave this drawing and go to maybe this one here that has a detail, footing details. Now, this footing is 530. It's 530 there. So if I come back to this drawing, sorry, the section section. Yeah. So assuming this is 530, I just want to verify that using my scale rule from here to here. It's not exactly. So 450. Maybe that's on a scale of 450. I'm not sure. But so long as this vertical distance is properly set, we can also verify by checking this other vertical axis. Click to this place, and that's just fine. That's all for us because this vertical section is only for us to take vertical measurements. All right, so we have to go back to the other duplicate and select scale the 2B one, roof plan 1:100. Click here, and the roof plan 1:100. So again, either we set the scale, first of all, after selecting the work area, we can set the scale 1:100 or use calibrate option. So make sure you zoom to get that area, and then go to working area again, set the working area, and then bring, maybe eyeball it from here to here so you can select that roof plan showing, say from here, and drag up. Okay, so it shows me everything. When that is done, so it's time for me to calibrate. Let's see if we can use a drawing scale, which is 1:100, or calibrate. I don't know. Okay, let's just calibrate. So to calibrate the x-axis, we have 12875. So we come to this point, zoom to the crosshair there, this and that line somewhere here, click and go to the other side. And we're going to name it as 12875. So we'll come to this side, 12875, click 12875, 12875 millimeter. So okay. And apply factor to X is already ticked. So it's already ticked. So we should just make sure that it's reading that mm. So okay. And when that is done, again, we use this measuring distance tool to verify that that was properly done. Zoom to this side, crosshair there, click, and then go to the other side and see what it's reading. Should be giving us 12.875 or 12875 if it doesn't matter. So that's close. That's close. And also we can check the vertical part. This is 6500. We can click here, the crosshair part, click and then go up to have 6.500 or something close. Maybe here. You see 6500, so that's cool. So that's well set up. And so this is a working area for our roof plan. It has grayed out the other sections of this sheet, so we don't mistakenly measure those areas. It just brings out the area that is scale of 1:200. Okay, and alternatively, you can use the annotation and put a scale here. But that is why we have put the name, the scale numbering here, S12, sorry, this is roof plan, S1 to 100. So the scale is already indicating here on the drawing. All right. One other thing, one other one is the 2C. So click on that. Now the 2C is this section. Again, we try to bring it to this area, and we will again go to working area, set the working area, and start somewhere here to snip. And go up there to somewhere around here is fine. Okay. And now we can calibrate. Oh, well, there's nothing to calibrate here with, so we can only risk doing it by, instead of calibrating, we right click on that because it's a scale of 1:20. So go to edit the drawing properties and set it as horizontal. So we can actually select the custom here, 1:20. Okay, that will close our jobs as an alternative instead of typing here. Vertical is also 1:20. And yeah, everything is fine here. So update. And if that is done, we have to find, oh, there is something to use to check the accuracy of that measurement, that scaling. This is 772. So if we choose this measuring tool, we come from this point, and then we'll go up there. Yeah, yeah, it's almost the same. Just leave it there. Or come down here. Yeah, just fairly okay. So that's how we provide those measures. And this footing, okay, the footing here is giving us 450 by 350. So I believe 350 vertical, then 450 horizontal. So we can zoom and try to use a measure. So from this point to that point, 441, depending on how you're taking the measure. Take that again. 444, 442, all the same. So either you want to reset and use a calibrate, or you just use the original scale. It won't make much difference. All right. So that is calibrated, and you now go back to the drawing 3A that has two parts. For the part A, which is the slab and footing plans with a scale of 1:100. If I click on that, so I will make a selection of both area because they are 1:100. The slab on ground, the slab section, and the footing, they're all 1:100. Again, it's up to you to make a choice whether you want to calibrate by scale or whatever. But first of all, we have to set up the working area. I've made sure that I've zoomed to be as clear as possible. If I bring it within view, because I want to put this rectangular area around here. If I want to select this and one area is not visible, I have to roll the mouse key forward or backwards until I've got it where I need it. I can also hold down the mouse wheel, left or right, up or down, center it where you want. Okay, so you go to the working area again, set working area, and come maybe on this side, or maybe this side could be the better way. Click and drag down. Give a gap here. I think they're all properly selected. So this is scale of 1:100. Again, maybe let's do calibrate this time around, calibrate X. And this is 6700, or maybe the longest line there is any. This is 8, yeah, maybe this one is 8625. So if I position my cursor here, remember it is 8625. Then click and then go up to the side. It's 625. It's 625. Yeah. Okay. It's 625, and then try to verify that measure. Oh, there was even a longer one, which is 135.5, but let's validate it with this one here. Click and then go to the other side. 13055. That is not correct. So we need to reset this. We go to reset button there, reset calibration. So that disappears. Let's try the other option, which is using the scale, the actual scale. So to do that, because this one is to 100, I'll right click and say edit the drawing property, and I will choose the custom horizontal is 1:100, and the same thing with vertical, and say update. Unable to update, drawing not loaded. Sorry, what happened there? Something happened there. What about this? What about this? We are drawing 1:2. Sorry, what? Oh yeah, we were dealing with this one here. We already have this one set up. We're trying the 3B. Okay. We're trying the 3B, which is this section here. Because we have already isolated this working area, which is to the left, so we need to set the working area for this part as well first before calibrating. So again, we go to working area, set the working area, and maybe start from maybe here would be better. Click and drag down to maybe here. And when that is done, then we can try again, because this is scale 1:20. Can use edit the drawing properties and choose a custom 1:20 here, and that's also for that update, and try to test that measurement by using this, and click at one end, go to the other end. 5 is fairly okay. Let me try the other vertical side. This is the longest vertical that I could have. 547 is fine. If I click here, 547, click from this side, 547 here, 550 is just okay. So I think that is well set. So you can use that, right click, and I use the drawing property and select the scale, or you can use the calibrate option. Let's try and make sure that this is also properly set up, because I think it was given a wrong. 8625, right click, 8625. Or rather, let's use this one here. Click and go to the other side to see 13055. That's not well set up. Click. So because this one wasn't well set up, it wasn't giving me good scaling, I will go back to reset calibration, and then right click, edit the drawing properties. So make sure that this is set to the custom, or I mean what it was before, and update, and then try to reset the calibration again. Reset calibration. I want to reset the x-axis. Click. Use the longest line there. So from this side, click, and then go to the other side. 13055, somewhere here, and then type 13055. Say OK. So 13055. If I want now check that, click, go to the other side, zoom properly, zoom 13055. Yeah. Think possibly using the calibrate X and Y, there are better options. Let me check the Y side. 5950. So from this point, click, and then go to the other side. 590, 5960. Zoom properly to here, and so you can read what it's telling you. 06056. That's fairly okay, as against 5960. Could that be correct? Let me try again. From here, 5960. If I zoom and check, 590. Well, 600. So almost it should be fine. There's no rocket science to this. That means that there might be slight differences, but by in our calculations, we normally round things up. Uh, um, you won't have significant differences, between the actual measures, what should be the actual measure, because at times you don't really know what is the actual measure, because the architect wasn't crossing those start point and end points to where they should be when you zoom. See, all these places are jagged. You don't really know whether to start from here or from there. So that's a problem, with these kind of measures, and that's why that digital measurement using the actual model is always the best. All right, so all these are done, and I believe we've completed. Um, we have finalized what we started to do. We have looked at setting up the working area. We've also looked at scaling, resetting the scaling. There's automatic adjustment for the scales from the drawing property that we've done. I think that concludes the lessons, and I will be ready to take your questions. Um, you can send me an email. Okay, then, bye. Stop sharing now and stop recording as well.